The question was, are there unique challenges to each of our positions? Of course. As fourth utility basically means I'm playing everything but first, although I have played first, several times. So I'm basically, they're like plugging me in. So today I might be playing second on a concerto, and then this afternoon I might be playing third on Shostakovich 5, and then tomorrow morning or next week I'm playing fourth on Mahler 5. So it's learning to just kind of adapt, to where you're. And plus, when you're throwing in rotary trumpets now, it's like being familiar enough with those so that when the conductor says, I think I want this on rotary trumpets. So now you got to go get a totally different setup and make it go right now. And so there are a lot of challenges that, one of the other things, when I first got in the orchestra, I didn't realize, like I said, I've been hearing orchestras, ever since I was very young, but I didn't realize a couple things. First of all, I didn't realize the extremes of the dynamic range, and I didn't realize how hard they were articulating from the back of the hull. And those are two things that were like shocking. Not shocking to me, but something where it was like, wow, I got to be able to do this, and I got to be able to do it fast, and I have to be able to adapt quickly. That's probably the one thing, especially starting off, is being able to hear what's going on around you and adapt immediately. And as a section player like me, I have to do that all the time. I might be playing with the first trumpet, but I might have a unison passage with a third horn, or I might have something, a line that comes off of the trombones, and then I pick it up, and then they take it. There's all kinds of things. So being able to adapt, being able to make fast changes, being able to just pick up a new horn and just go. Those are a lot of things. A quick story: when I was in grad school, I was studying at Duquesne, and our principal trumpet, George Vosberg, was leading the class, and we were doing Alpine Symphony. I was playing first, so we get to the big glacier lick, right, up to the high D, and I put the horn up, and I nailed it, or what I thought was nailing it, right? And so he stops, and he says, Chad, for this room and this group of your peers, it's just fine. The back of the Pittsburgh Symphony, not even close. And I realized, right then, it was like, okay, I got to do something about this. And so it's like, it's practicing playing loudly. Wow. Practicing playing softly. Not practicing in the box, which we can all probably do pretty well. And I'm not just talking about volume. I'm talking about articulation. Just all practicing the extremes so that when you get on the job, it's not as challenging. It's something that, I can do this because I've practiced it.
My job as an associate was a little bit of a shocker, because my title is Associate Principal Third Trumpet Utility, which, as I said before, kind of really just means everything. And so that actually took me a little while, because before that I had only played principal trumpet in other orchestras. Of course, plenty in college, and actually I was going to say, one of the coolest things while I was at Northwestern is that they gave a second trumpet player of the year award. And I thought that was really kind of neat, because it basically highlighted the fact that how important it is to not just be a principal trumpet player, but to be a section player. So knowing that, when you're getting together and playing through section stuff with your friends or whatever, it's just as important to have someone sitting next to you that is nailing it and knows how to play with you and how to match and how to adapt. So I just wanted to say that real quick. And luckily, I feel like I had some of that training. We had excerpt classes while I was there, maybe at 8 a.m., maybe whenever it was. Maybe it was 10 p.m. at night. But since I've been there, an associate kind of ends up with the first half of the program is what it typically is. So you're playing a lot of overtures, you're playing a lot of concertos. And believe it or not, which I didn't quite realize, is that concertos can be really hard because you have to blend into textures without even maybe being able to hear the soloist. So you have to know that concerto, you know, in and out, so that you know when you're the important line and when you're not. And then some weeks it isn't a concerto, some weeks it's a modern piece, and it's really, really crazy and out there, and you know, it takes 3 weeks to prepare, and you know, it's just knowing what's down the road, I think, is what's helped me most. And if it is that I have to play rotary trumpet next week, then maybe 3 or 4 days into the prior week, I start putting that in my warm-up routine, you know, start droning with my rotary trumpet, or droning with my D trumpet, whatever trumpet it is that you're going to need for the next week, so you can start transitioning into that next week. So that's how I kind of handled my job.
And I'm serving in multiple roles in my job, much as they are, like right now, you're ambassadors for your organizations. And that's mine. As soon as I put on my uniform, you may not know that I am a musician. So I am representing all of the master sergeants in the United States Army just by wearing the uniform. And so I wouldn't call that a challenge, I call it a privilege, but it is a responsibility and that type of approach. And those are the things that I think about also with my position. Now, playing-wise, it's exactly what they're talking about. There's no difference, none whatsoever. And they've alluded to a topic that I've been bringing up for the last, I don't know, 5 or 8 years, ever since I got yelled at by Phil Smith. I'm sitting in, you know, down a row from him, and I'm not able to keep up with the volume. I had no comprehension. If your teacher plays in an orchestra or in a band, do whatever it takes to convince them to bring you to a job, okay? Whatever it takes. You know, buy dinners for a month, make dinners for a month, mow the lawn. That is the most tremendous learning experience I think you could have, is to be surrounded by professional musicians playing in a professional manner. For me, it rocked my world. It rocked me to my core, like to my technical core on the instrument. I had no comprehension the type of volume that was being generated, none. And then I definitely couldn't do it. I didn't possess the understanding of how to do it. I got to a point where I finally heard the difference, and then it was, how am I going to do that? And I had no idea, and it sent years of study forward. So it's a great topic that you guys just brought up. It's absolutely everything, and it's the same with the softs. And then the next level is the colors, and how you can change those colors. And the palette is amazing, and it's different with the personnel of the week. One substitute in an orchestra can change the whole thing, and it's the same with the band. It's the same with any musical ensemble. It'd be the same with a jazz combo.